Okay, so 1 Timothy 3:2 and Titus 1:6 says that an overseer is to be the husband of one wife. This simply means that you can only have one wife at that time. Some will try to stretch it outside of that, but he's talking about polygamy. And so polygamy was a thing in the Old Testament. We saw that Abraham had 3 wives. Okay, if you didn't catch that, there was a third one that came later. Her name was Keturah. They had a whole other bunch of kids. Okay, so we know that Jacob had 2 wives. And okay, well that was before the law. All right, so after the law, King David had multiple wives. King Solomon had a whole lot of wives. You had a problem. Okay, so polygamy was a thing that was going on, and so what they're laying out on here is that you're to be the husband of one wife. You're not to have multiple wives. Polygamy still goes on today, if you didn't know this, that Egypt allows up to 6 wives and still remain legally, and I don't understand why any man would do that to themselves, because I can't handle another one yelling at me and abusing me. Somebody help me. Okay. Trying to help up here, you know. Not to mention, who can afford that? Huh? Man. So, polygamy is not against the law in Utah. You can have multiple wives out there. This is why the Mormon Church gathers and is stationed out there, because they're practitioners of polygamy, and they'll have multiple wives who all live under the same roof. They'll call each other sister wives. They're all raising kids and doing whatever and stuff. But what's being said here is that no, Paul's saying no, you're to be the husband of one wife. And so what happens is when it gets twisted, people want to discount the man who may have a call, whether he's a pastor or he's an elder or whatever he is, and they want to say, well, you're not qualified for your position because you've been married more than once. And that's not what the verse is saying. And so if we were to yield to that, that would disqualify something that God has a purpose and a plan for. And what we have to recognize is that God calls flawed people. There's a reason for it. I don't understand it. I don't know why I'm here. But he calls messed up people. Maybe that's how he shines. I don't know. So when we have these people that want to take that twist on it and say, no, because you've been married multiple times, you aren't qualified. What we also want to look at is, when we recognize that the covenant marriage is a form for coming together. You don't take a certificate from down at the City Hall, no. In God's eyes, once you come together physically, you have formed that marriage covenant. So, what you want to ask yourselves is these people that are saying, hey, no, you've been married 3 times, 2 times, whatever, you're not qualified to be in the position you're in. What you want to ask them is, well, did you remain pure to your marriage? Because I'd be willing to bet the majority have not. Just because they didn't actually go down and get a certificate of marriage doesn't mean that the covenant wasn't formed. And so in some of those cases, I wouldn't be shocked if they've got a beam in their own eye as they're calling out the speck in their brothers. So many churches will incorrectly interpret that